Hard work, real talk, no shortcuts. I'm Joseph Cabrera. This is American Operator. Well, Kaylee, we'll get kicked off.
Okay, let's do it. Okay. I cannot. Okay. Okay, let's do it.
Oh, look. Well,
Okay.
I think it's actually a good start.
Okay.
Kaylee Watts.
Yes.
We're laughing here already because, gosh, man, I wish y'all could tune into what we were talking about before. We're talking about dogs that we think are going to be a certain way, and then they end up not being, but fortunately or unfortunately, you got them for the next 15 years.
That's right.
Yeah, so you got to take care of me the way. So good to have you on the show. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
I've been looking forward to this convo for quite some time. I know we got you, scheduled some time back, but not only are you Austin, just local here as an owner and an operator here, but also it's a business I almost know nothing about, yet as soon as I shared you were going to be on the show here at the office, there was a ton of folks in our office that knew exactly what your business was with Austin Laser Solutions. So we're going to get all into that stuff. I'm just telling you, personally, as just being a naturally, since I was a small dude, naturally curious guy, this is something I've been looking forward to because I was like, Kelly's going to teach me some stuff today.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's start with this. Where's home for you originally? And has Austin always been kind of where your business home is?
Right. So I'm originally from Bay City, Texas. It's down on the coast. And I moved to Austin about 20 years ago.
So you're pretty much as local as it gets now.
That's right. Yes.
What was the reason for moving down here? Was it because of work or are you just trying to get out of Bay City?
I was trying to get out of Bay City. Love Bay City. Great. No, I wanted to see the lights. I was ready for the city.
Yeah.
Experience new things. I wanted nothing to do with the small town country. And now it's funny. I'm trying to chase it. I'm trying to get back to that.
Trying to get back to it?
Yes.
You were talking about being outdoors. We're going to jump into that too. But like when you do get your time away from the big city here, so to speak, do you go back to Bay City or where's like a favorite place that you like to escape to?
Oh, yeah. I do. I do like to go back to Bay City. My family's there. There's great fishing, great bird hunting. So, yeah, I enjoy being on the water.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of an interesting thing to kick off into, I think, with small towns. Why do you think that is? Like, we spend all our life, especially as professionals, chasing the big city down. We get there. There's a lot to love about it. But then, like, why do you think at that, kind of probably for both of us, there's this drawback to the small town that we grew up in? What do you think that is?
Old age. No. I think getting back to your roots, going back to something that's familiar, could be a reason.
Yeah. What are the things you enjoyed about growing? Like, what were the things when you close your eyes and you daydream about Bay City? What are those things?
Oh, yeah. It was so much fun growing up as a kid. We had the beach, 20 miles from my house. And I remember, big bonfires on the beach. Everything was just different. You get out of school, you go straight to the beach.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's freedom, a little bit more freedom in a small town.
Yeah, there's something about, something now. I think if you just, as you were talking about bonfires on the beach, I thought about, you like to shoot.
I do.
And so I remember going to school down in South Texas, and beforehand, my friends and I, we'd go out to there was like an orange grove near the school. We'd literally go shoot skeet for the first 30 minutes before the bell kicked off. We'd literally keep our shotguns in the back of the truck, drive into class, go hang out all day. I think you captured it right. It is freedom. I think when you come here, it's not like you can't do what you want to do, but it does seem socially like there's this, like you just have things you are supposed to do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more busy. You have more things to take up your time in a bigger city, I feel like, than in a small town when there's nothing to do. You get to be a kid.
Yeah, you get to kind of do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So you get to Austin, and I imagine you don't start this business you have now right off the bat. What was
Not even close.
What happened when you arrived here?
When I arrived here, I was interning at a funeral home on the east side of MLK. You didn't know
I'm not.
that, did
No,
you?
I did not. It's like you want to talk about if I had to guess what Kaylee did before Austin's Laser Solutions.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Well, okay, you got. I mean, how did you even get that job? What were you just anything you could get, or what was the deal?
So right after high school, I went to a junior college for a bit,
Yeah.
and this is part of my story. Is I have literally failed every written test I've ever taken, including my driver's ed test. So I needed to do something, and my best friend at the time was going to mortuary school, and I was like, "Cool, let's go." That was it. 100% death rate. I will always have a job.
Oh, yeah. That's always going to be. That's always going to be a thing humans do. What do you? Okay, your friend. I got so many questions about that. How's your friend even get in? Was that like a family business thing? Nobody
No.
decided. I don't know if I know a single mortuary affairs person leaving high school.
I mean, I don't know why she wanted to get into that. I don't remember. I just knew that I needed something to do to get out of Bay City, and
Yeah.
that was my first chance. Mom, I'm going to college in Houston. I'm going to be a mortician. So that was it.
What was the internship like? I mean, what did you do day to day there?
Oh, I was in the prep room. I was
Really?
embalming. That's right.
Whoa. I mean, how do you learn? I mean, is that you learned that in school? Is that
Yeah,
on the
you
job?
learn that in school. You have 10 families that you have to take care of, and
Wow.
yeah.
Can you, how formidable was that to just kicking off your professional career? Like, as you look back on it, do you have any big takeaways from that experience?
No. No, I can't tell you that.
Did
No.
you ever have to deal with the, like, folks front of house and stuff too?
Right. Yes, exactly. So, no, I did not. I stayed back in the prep room a lot of the time, but I did have to assist in the funerals. And that's why I left. Like, whenever I was getting lockjaw, trying not to cry, dealing with the grieving families, that was
Yeah.
really difficult for me. And that was a whole experience that I've never had before. I thought I was more hardcore than I really was. And that's not the case. It was so hurtful to me. Ugh, I didn't like it. So
you decided, okay, not for me anymore.
right.
What did you, at that point then, did you go, okay, I'm changing what I'm studying, I'm changing what I'm doing? What was the next step?
Right. The next step was service industry.
Okay.
I had done service industry in high school, and my roommate at the time in Austin was in the service industry, and she got me a job. And that right there was the turning point. I didn't realize what I was doing at the time, and that was networking. And we'll go into that in a bit because that's part of how I started the business was because of the service industry. While I was there, I mean, I was doing this, for 10 years in Austin before the business started. But I had to figure out what I was going to do next, and that was whenever I decided to go to school to be an esthetician at the time.
And that was because of learning some things through the service industry, or
No, that was just trying to figure out a career path.
what's next?
What's next? It's always what's next.
When you say service industry, what was, after you kind of did some time, funeral home and stuff, what was the first entrance into the service industry? Restaurants or hotels or none of those?
Bars.
Bars.
Yeah.
Did you, here in Austin?
In Austin.
Where, like on 6 or something?
On 6th Street.
Get out of here. That is like being a bartender's bartender. What,
Oh, yeah.
can you say the bars that you barred at or that you served at?
Majority of them.
Really? So it wasn't just a one. Actually, okay, that's a
Right.
really cool thing. Do bartenders typically have a couple places they work at?
Sure, you have a home base, but if, they need you to fill in somewhere and you're making friends and, yes, you'll go to different places. And 512 was one of the bars. I worked at Dogwood for a bit. And
Yeah.
I mean, just lots of them. Dizzy Rooster. I mean,
Yeah. Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. I felt good, being in the nightlife and meeting people and customer service. And yeah, I did like it at the time.
What was I feel like everybody thinks from the outside looking in, like you got to be a night owl and a socialite to be really good at that job. Is that true?
I don't know. I don't really remember like wanting to, or I don't know. I I can't answer that indefinitely because now I'm the opposite. I'm more of an introvert. It's on my time off, I want to be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So was I a socialite in my 20s? I guess so. I mean, bartending and meeting all the people and
Kind of have to be.
Yeah. Did I like it? I mean, I guess I liked, I guess so. So I guess I just answered my own question. That was a long circle.
No, that's good. I mean, because I always find it fascinating where folks start because I do think that it's like it can kind of inform you a little bit of like what you're going to end up doing. Mm-hmm. And so obviously like when you think about the businesses you've grown, whereas the business you're growing today, people have it's an experience. It's not just a service, but so you get done bartending and then you go, okay, I'm going to explore this esthetician thing. Am I saying that right? Esthetician.
Yes.
You go to school for that, and then what happens?
So I'm still bartending throughout this entire process. I mean, that's not where the money wasn't, in that field. You have to be at the time an owner to make any money.
Yeah.
So I go to school and I get a job at a med spa, and I'm making $15 an hour. And I can't afford life. I already have 4 roommates. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, this is an expensive town.
It's expensive. So I'm still bartending. And again, I didn't stop bartending until I was 30, almost 30.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Right before I started the business.
So were you sitting there in the bar one day and just said, you know what, I need to just commit? Like, what was that? I'm always fascinated with like an owner or founder's kind of moment that they decide, this is what I'm going to do. Like, why and when was that?
I think that moment came after I had a conversation with a buddy of mine who we talk about to this day. He saw what I was doing and gave me the encouragement, I think, of you should go off on your own. And I had been thinking that for years. In fact, when my grandfather, I worked at a place for 8 years and probably wanted to quit every other week. And he's like, just learn the business. And that's what I did. I was a maid. I was a laser professional. I was the receptionist. I was the therapist, and I would come in before work. So this is going back to being a bartender and networking.
Yeah.
So making friends. The med spa that I was working at, it was on 6th and San Jacinto.
Yeah.
And I would leave the spa on the weekends, leave the spa, go straight to the bar. And that's what I would be doing is work, then the bar, then leave the bar and go straight to work a couple hours later. We were allowed to laser our friends to a certain point.
Okay.
So coming in before work and after work and lasering a couple of my friends. And then it became out of control. It's like I was lasering more friends than clients. And
you were allowed to laser friends just like for for practice?
No, it was a mom and pop shop. We were allowed to have, I even let the girls do it at my place too.
Yeah.
But I've created boundaries that wasn't, those boundaries didn't get created at the place I was working at until after me, by the way. Oh, yeah.
Trailblazer, yeah.
Oh, yes. I mean, yes, it was wild. So it was like friends. And that's when the wheels started turning is, okay, I think I've got this. So I reached out to the owner and I was like, let's do something together. And I presented something and he's like, no, I don't think that's going to work out there. And that's where...
You say I got to do it on my own then.
Got to do it on my
own. For those who don't know, because I want to definitely talk the biz and kind of how you got into it, but how do you describe what lasering is? Like, what is lasering? For a guy who's never done it before, how would you describe? And I know your business is way more full suite now and it's got a lot going on, but I'm curious, like someone who's never heard of it before, what is the service?
We do laser hair removal.
Yes.
Tattoo removal and skin rejuvenation. So I can help people who want to get rid of hair. A tattoo, or have youthful skin. So
all with the use of laser technology.
All with laser technology, yes.
When you were getting into it, was there anything was it kind of new at the time? Like, was that kind of you had to be an early adopter to be like, is this okay to use? Seems more common now, but back then, was it?
Yeah, so I think that when I first started, it was just with laser hair and tattoo removal, and it had been developed or happening for about 10 years prior to me, or maybe 5 to 7 years prior to me. So it didn't seem unnatural at the time when I got into it.
Okay. So there'd already been a little bit of time warmed up to it. Mm-hmm. So you go off on your own. What was the next step after that? You just like open up a building? Where do you even go from there?
So it was such a process. These lasers are expensive, by the way.
Okay.
And, I had some money in savings, and I was able to get a loan from the bank, but the interest rates were so high. I didn't want to have to borrow too much. I was scared. Mm-hmm. And I also borrowed some money from my grandparents. Not much. I believe it was, in considering, I think it was like 20,000 from my grandparents.
Okay.
And
was that going to be enough to buy the machine, or they were even more expensive than that?
Between me, the bank, and my grandparents, I had enough to buy the machine.
Yeah.
I had enough to buy the machine and a few months of rent, but I had where I ended up going. But I didn't have any money for this beautiful brick and mortar. I knew I wanted to be in Bee Caves, Westlake, Lakeway, because that's where all the money was.
Yeah.
And so I decided to rent a room in a space that had similar services as me. So in the beauty industry, so, beauticians or waxers, things like that. And
you kind of knew that people were going to come, or it was easier to maybe attract some initial clientele being in the same place that similar businesses were?
Right. I think that, no, I didn't even have that thought process then.
Okay.
I mean, the business thought process was coming at the same time of me taking that risk. I knew that I built enough of a network in the service industry that I could figure it out. Like we can do this just by word of mouth alone. And that's what happened. But so that's how the business model started, is one room, one laser professional in a building like a loft, a salon loft.
Oh, I see. And now, like, how with that one machine, are you doing one person at a time? Like, how many folks could you do during that period?
Sure. So in an hour. So because the place that I worked at was so fast paced and busy, I learned time management. So I could laser 4 people in 1 hour.
Okay.
So it was really fast.
That's moving.
Mm-hmm, that's moving.
How long, like when you did it, okay, you got the machine, you get the place, you're set up. Was it like customers coming in from day one, or or did you kind of have to hold your breath for a while?
No, for me, it was customers coming in. I was pen to paper. Like everyone that's coming in, I was like, okay, so this is how many people can come in. Okay, I can make my rent this week if I get this many people in.
Yeah.
And so I'm calling all my friends, every friend. I was having them post on social media, whatever platform they had, let's post about it.
You weren't having to wait for people to come in that business because of your former networks and just people who supported you.
Right. However, yes and no. So I was able to make rent with my current network, but I wanted to pay off the bank and my grandparents even faster.
Yeah.
So that's when I started reaching out. I went to every Boss Babe event. I joined every gym. I was on the streets trying to meet people and tell them about me. And yeah.
How did you know to do that? Like,
I don't know.
Is that like Kaylee the person is just kind of scrappy that way, or did you see somebody else do that? Like what?
It was just scrappy, and I had no just something in me, having that weight on my shoulders, to borrowing money, not just from borrowing money from my grandparents. That hurt my heart. Like I didn't like that feeling of having to owe someone.
Yeah.
So I made sure to figure it out fast, how I can get that money back to them.
Why do you think they obviously believed in you? Why? Like, what was that's like most. even with the sweetest grandparents out there, you're not always going to have the opportunity to even have someone bet on you. Why do you think they believed in you?
Oh, because they know I'm scrappy. The grit and the grind that I've always had, they believed in me. You just know.
Did you kind of grow up with and around them quite a bit?
Oh yeah. I used to joke. My mom was like my sister who could ground me, and my grandparents were like my parents. So because they were just all so young when they started having babies.
How long did it take? So they believed in you, and how long did it take before you were able to just pay them back?
8 months.
Holy smokes, that's moving. And the bank same time?
Everything.
Wow. Have you grown the business with any debt now, or how's that?
I have zero debt. I haven't been in debt since.
And how did you learn that? Like I think in a country where everything is debt ridden, right? Like you get debt for everything here.
Oh yes.
How did you decide that isn't the way I want to be? Just because you don't want to
because
I don't like owing people.
I saw it and it wasn't fun.
Yeah. Having somebody else kind of have that line on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seeing, my mom was in debt and seeing her being upside down and, credit cards. And I just knew I didn't like that. I didn't want to do that.
Has it been hard to grow the business that way, or do you feel like you figured out some way to do it without? Obviously, you figured out some way to do it.
I figured out how to do it that way this far. However, when I'm having these more conversations about growing, it's like there's good debt and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But right now it was, I feel safe. I feel safe not having debt. And, we'll have more conversations and I'll learn a little bit more about that good debt and whether I want to take that good debt on or not. But for now, I was able to grow without it and I still can.
What's after you got that first location humming, what was the next growth point for you then? Like you got that one location, did you buy another machine or did you immediately have to grow into something else? How did that go?
Well, listen, so I was a one-man show for 2 years and I was working more often than I was sleeping. And that is because I didn't realize that clients would dictate your whole entire life like that. I needed to be in that room just grinding on that laser because that's how much business I was bringing in unintentionally at that point.
Yeah.
The first 8 months when I was on the streets, it brought in so much business leading on,
So all that prep work teed up a huge queue for you.
Holy cow, yeah.
And then people coming back, all that stuff,
yes.
right?
Oh, yes. As much as I like the laser world or the aesthetic world, unfortunately, it's, you're going to need maintenance for the rest of your life. Your own body's fighting against you.
Yeah.
This is the best technology on the market to date, and you still need to come back.
Wow. Is that when you were just kind of more getting inside looking the operations day to day? So if you were doing all the work all day long, when did you have time to do all the, I don't know, bookings and sales and all the admin stuff? Was that at night or when did that happen?
Right. So at the same time at night, before my first client, anytime I had time to breathe, I was doing it. And I guess I was conditioned to, multitask. I don't know. Just to move quickly and get it done at the same time. If I let anything linger for too long, it just weighs too heavy on me. So I get it done as quick as I can.
So it's probably part of the DNA.
Woo!
You're just moving.
Oh,
Kind of built for it then.
I'm built for that. Yes.
So then, okay, so you're a one gal show for 2 years, and then you decide to bring on help or an extra. What was the next step after that?
Yeah, I finally took a vacation.
Okay.
I was in Mexico.
I was went back to Bay City.
I went back to Bay City. No, I was in Mexico with a group of friends, and we were all just chatting about. And I was like, man, I'm gonna have to go back to so much work.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, why don't you hire someone to help you? You can afford it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that wasn't even an option.
Yeah.
Because people wanted to come see me, and so I called my best friend, who's still at the company today.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And when was this again? You started this?
2013.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a ride or die friend then,
Oh, she's
right?
a rider.
12 years?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
She's been with the company, yeah.
Oh, she's been with you. Yeah, but y'all been around for longer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We go way back. And
Yeah.
she was in the service industry too. And I said, Katie, I need you to quit your job. I need some help. You have to come work for me or with me. And literally, when I got back from Mexico, she was next to me in the office, and I started teaching her everything I knew. Everything.
Was she not even doing laser stuff before that?
No.
No way. Really?
No, yeah. She had to go to school while she was interning with me.
Oh my goodness, man. So the amount of I for some reason had in my mind, oh, she was lasering somewhere else. And she's like, cool, I'll just come hang out with you. So she left. What was she doing?
She was in the service industry,
Okay.
so just bartending at the same, yeah.
But I mean, but still, so she's bartending. She's like, okay, I'm going to leave this thing I've never done before.
That's right.
Trust Kaylee. Get in there. Did you fill her time up pretty quickly?
Oh, yeah, really quickly. Well, I say really quickly, but looking back on it, it wasn't so quickly.
Yeah.
Because it took 6 months.
Okay.
And she was still bartending on the side because I had 4 jobs at one time. Bartending, cocktail waitress, hostess at a fine dining restaurant, and still lasering. So I needed to make moves. I've always been a hard worker. So she was still able to do that. So she had some income. I could only, was only paying her so much money at the time. But
Yeah.
anyway, so she was able to go down that same path of working 2 jobs while also in school and also interning with me. And it took about 6 months until I felt comfortable and confident to essentially buy her a laser and open up another location for her just to go and run.
Wow. I mean, and so you stayed at your location. You had a second location at that point in time. Was that second location bigger? Like you could, or was the same thing, kind of a one
same
shop?
business model.
Wow.
One laser professional. And we were only doing laser hair removal at the time.
Okay.
And that's how we were able just to.
How long did you stay? I think that's something like for folks who tune into the show, like there's always this question of like, when do you expand and grow and get into other things? So how long did you just stay laser hair removal? Like how long in the business before you decided to add on new things?
I think that whenever I could start, because I'm debt free and I was scared. It's like whenever I could afford to buy a new laser, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And learning how to optimize your book of business.
I see. So it's not just, oh, we need to go expand. It's like, how to get these people to come in more often or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yes.
So did you go, was it a few years before what was the next thing that you entered into? Was it tattoo removal or what was the next service?
The next service I entered was skin rejuvenation with the Clear and Brilliant, which is an amazing device.
Yeah.
And how I picked that one is because I used to suffer from acne.
Okay.
And I went to Westlake Dermatology. I had a consultation. They did a treatment on me. It was amazing. 2 weeks later, I bought the device. I was
Wow.
like, yeah. And that's what I like to do. I like to test these devices on myself, make sure that they meet my expectations, and then I go out and buy it. And because if it helps me, I can help other people.
Yeah, because you can really believe what you're putting out there.
There's so much technology out there. I mean, all my devices I stand by, but there's also several other devices and lasers that are also helpful.
Yeah. So if you started it, was it years before you ended up putting into the rejuvenation type equipment, or was that 2 or 3 years in?
No, it was about, you're right. It was about 2 or 3 years in.
Okay. So you kind of was like, hey, look, I want to master the hair removal stuff first.
Correct.
Before we start expanding.
Mm-hmm. And then I kept that one device, that the Clear and Brilliant, for probably another year or 2 before I would expand into something else. Like mastering those devices that you have, and then adding something else.
Like, how did you? I'm the reason I'm like kind of thinking hard about it right now is because there's so much wisdom in that process that you seem to have done kind of naturally, where it's like stay the course for a while, and then maybe even beyond comfortable, stay a little longer, master it, then move on to the next thing. Don't overextend yourself on cash. Like all these things that I feel like they teach at the highest levels of this stuff, but you seem to have just figured it out on your own. And obviously now built it's a bigger business. It's a big business. So like, I'm just curious, like, where is that from? Is that like the way you grew up, or is that just
Yes, a little. Yes, it's a lot to have to do with how I grew up. If my family didn't really take risks, and as you can tell, I'm a risk taker. I mean, I like from what we talked about earlier today.
Guns,
I like
planes, everything.
Exactly. I like that feeling. But so I have that balance of we can take those risks, but let's think it through just a little bit. Let's figure out all the ways what could happen, couldn't happen, and then move forward from there. But at the end of the day, you have to take a risk.
Yeah. You kind of sounds like the risks you take are ones that you feel like you still have a good foundation, right?
Oh yeah. I feel like yes, exactly.
Yeah, you're
Very
not gonna over jump. But
That's
I'll
right.
jump a little bit here. Let me test it. Let's see if it's gonna go. Let's go a little longer.
That's right.
Keep
That's
working
like,
it.
It's like I love skydiving.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna jump by myself. You know what I mean? It's like I'll jump, but let's make sure that I'm safe at the same time.
Yeah, let's not change all the factors in the equation. Let's just change a few at a time.
That's right.
Just maybe for folks listening now, like describe the business today. So that was kind of the first couple of years. Give us like how many locations, how many folks you have?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's grown quite a bit, Kaylee.
Yeah. So right now I have 3 locations. In one of those locations, we have 2 rooms. So I call it 4 locations, but it's basically I just rent 2 rooms in one of the 3 locations.
Yeah.
I just had a 4th location that I shut down. I like to see these grow at a bare minimum of 35% year after year. And when my Cedar Park office wasn't growing as quickly,
Yeah.
and that's when I was like, okay, I can take that laser and maximize all the clients who are on my wait list in Bee Cave, and let's get them off. And let's get that going.
Yeah.
So close the Cedar Park location, and I honestly don't even know what I was doing without having that second laser hair removal device, because that's fully booked now too. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, at the
Bee Cave location.
Yeah.
Where were all those clients? What were they doing? They're just waiting, I guess. But yeah, I've dialed it in a little bit more in Bee Cave.
So how big is the team now? Like how many folks do you have helping you do all this stuff? Are you doing it anymore?
Yeah, yes and no. So this is going to open a can of worms.
Just let the worms come, I guess.
So the business was running beautifully for the past 11 years. And then I went through some personal heartache. I lost my mom a year ago today, actually.
Today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Well, we'll do this in remembrance of her then.
Thank
What was
you.
her name?
Laura Watts, yes.
All right, Laura. Well, your daughter's doing some cool stuff down here.
Yes.
So.
And she would love this.
Yeah. Well,
everything that you have. But we're going to move quickly through this. So yes. And so when that happened, which is what's going to lead into the PE conversation.
Yeah.
I had so much resentment towards the business.
Because it took time away from me, you think? Or from her?
That's right. It took time away from me and her.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to burn it down. I didn't care about anything. And that's exactly what I was on the road to do, is burn it down. And prior to that, I had transitioned out of the room. And I had always said, and I shouldn't have done this, I'd always said I never wanted to stop treating clients because I never want to forget what that feels like to be in the room. And I didn't listen to myself. So I got out of the room and I stayed at home for the last year, but my job got harder.
Interesting. What do you mean?
Yes. So it is interesting. And because now I'm in the place where I'm a year and I'm looking back at all the things that I had just did. It got harder and more time consuming because I didn't have anything to do, because my team was just a powerhouse. Like I created the most beautiful team. They were just magical. But because I didn't have anything to do and I created that job, I was now a micromanager. And I'm...
What are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah.
I wish they were here. It was... And who the heck wants to be micromanaged?
Yeah.
I don't, which is why I'm probably, in this seat right now. But yeah, and I would spend time with my mother. I was sitting next to my mother, but I wasn't present. I was on my laptop and I was sending emails, and I was, it was mentally, I was not there, and that's what hurts me. So
it's like it's an important and real note to make, that it can become all consuming, this road of owning your own thing and doing your own thing. Do you feel like you just have more time? Like, hey, we'll get to a point one day where this will free up more, and then I'll be able to hang out with my people more. Was that the thing that was kind of angering, that it just was like, wow, that came and went a lot faster than I thought?
That's right. Yes. You think you have the time, and then you have the time. Like when I wasn't, with my mother or with my family or with my friends, I didn't feel productive. And that's in me too. It's just, I needed to feel like I was still a part of the team. And essentially that hurt the business for a bit.
Wow. What advice would you give folks out there who are like grinding away right now, and they're looking for that, I don't know, the proverbial waypoint that when things will clear the air? Or maybe even better, let me ask it again. You talked about like you didn't feel I think a lot of folks who are kind of built the way you are, like they think to themselves, if it's quiet and I'm hanging, we're enjoying dinner with family, or we're out in the mountains with them, that's not productive. There's like an anxiety that gets. Like, any advice you'd give them to calm down about that? There
was also guilt. Guilt. How can I ask somebody to do something when I'm not doing it? That was, that I didn't like that feeling. And I honestly, I'm still going through it. I don't have all the answers. I don't. You could say, you shouldn't have that guilt. You're creating jobs, I guess. But, and that, I don't have that answer just yet. I'm still searching for not feeling guilty, for not, for taking that vacation, for not feeling guilty for watching trash television, when she should be productive, you know what I mean? So I don't have the answer.
Yeah. You remind me of when I was in service, that used to kind of be a thing. Also, we used to, especially as the boss, used to stay, we work really long hours in the service. It's like culturally what it is, like 12, 14-hour days pretty regularly. Just very culturally that way. And I had, in the service, you're always given this right-hand person. So for me, his right-hand man, he's like, they technically report to you, but they're seasoned in their years or beyond their years. So they're there really also to kind of coach you while they're kind of helping you be the very best leader you can be. And I remember a piece of advice that came down the pipe that was like, hey, it's okay if you hang out here for like, you're here till 7 or 8 at night working on stuff, but like, do me a favor. At 5:30 or 6, can you leave the parking? Like, get in your car and drive away, even if it's just you're going to take a block, so the boys know it's okay for them to leave, and then they leave, and then you can come back later and work. And what I realized in that moment is that, like as a leader, you're not only leading people by working and grinding, but you're also like trying to show them it's okay to be a human too. Yeah. And I'm not saying that any of us have it figured out, but I think as you were saying that, it got me thinking about worlds where it's weird. It's like if one of our teammates came to us and something tragic happened in their life, we'd want them to go take care of that.
Yeah,
we'd want them to go take a break and whatever, but we don't like give ourselves that permission to go do those things. It's kind of a twisted thing, right?
It is, yes. And that's what I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah. I think it's normal.
How to give myself that grace.
Oh, yeah, absolutely do. I think it's normal, and I think it's like, it's kind of I think it comes from a good place, but it's like the process of working through that takes a little bit of time. Yeah, no, I think that's the balance point. Anytime we kind of talk to folks who are looking at getting into owning their own thing, it's like ahead of time trying to create those boundaries. And you're not going to get it right the first time or right out the gate. And it sounds like it's still a learning process.
Yeah. 12 years later.
Yeah. Still kind of honing it in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. But yeah, no, I think that's ownership, such a human process. So you get get kind of through that year, what clicked back for you to, obviously sounds like you're kind of got your head back in the game, so to speak.
Oh yeah,
What changed?
I'm all in.
Was it just like, come on, Kaylee, or what happened?
Get together. Let's go. Yeah, you got this. It's just giving yourself that encouragement. The people you surround yourself. I have such a good core group of people around me. It's beautiful. People are rooting for me,
Yeah.
And I think that, mental health and physical health. And I started to hyper-focus instead of micromanaging. I started hyper-focusing on me to make sure that I was okay to be that good leader. And I'm still learning how to lead. I didn't sign up for this. And this was unintentional to have like this team behind you. And now you have all these people coming to you and, and I'm giving them my everything that I know and what I learned. And I'm giving them everything. And I wasn't doing anything for myself. And now I've created that balance of making sure that I'm healthy, and I have this beautiful, sleep ritual now and a routine to make sure that I'm healthy. And I'm feeling it, and I'm able to project that and give that back. And I had this one team member actually yesterday. I want to work more, I don't want breaks, and I don't want a lunch, and I just want to treat clients. And before, that's what Katie and I did. We did that. We had our head down, we were grinding.
Yeah.
And before I would have been okay with that, but because of that, it led to burnout, and now I want to protect her. And, I have these blocks on their schedule that says, go outside, look up at the sun, and take a deep breath, and words of encouragement, and, just some things that I think everyone wants to hear, including myself, and
yeah.
So that's
Does it click? Like, did it click with her? Is she kind of still kind of working through?
Oh, no, it clicked. Yeah,
okay.
Of course it clicked. So, she was still working through not having that lunch break, but she understood what taking a breath meant.
Yeah.
So a breath mint?
Yeah. That also is a helpful thing to have. A breath mint here to make sure that you're like not, I don't know how close you have to get with the folks. So you got, speaking of time away and just kind of taking moments to breathe, earlier we were talking about like how important it is for you to get outdoors, get behind the sights of a gun, jump out of an airplane. Can you talk to me about, it sounds like those are in the vein of like how Kaylee takes care of herself.
That's right.
Talk to me about those rituals that you do. Like, what are those things and why are they, like, what do you get from them?
So making time for myself out in nature, taking off my shoes and feeling the grass and looking up in the sun. And with the weekly rituals, that's just, I like strict.
Yeah, you got like a regimen.
Yeah, I like regimens.
Yeah.
But my brain doesn't stop, and I haven't figured out how to stop it just yet. But what I did figure out is how to stop it in that time. In the time is when I'm behind a trigger, when I'm jumping out of that plane. That's when you slow down, and that's why I like to do it. How did you come across those things? Like, was it accident or like what happened? Oh,
or someone
100% an accident.
Was it?
Of course.
Like, how'd you get into, what's the first thing? Shooting, hunting, how did that?
Sure. I don't know, about 10 years ago, my buddy took me hog hunting, and I was just sitting in the blind and look through the scope and take a breath and pull the trigger, and I did, and I was like, wow, this is fun. Let's do it again. When do the pigs come back? So just being exposed to it and realizing that I liked it, and so then I started shooting more often, and I wanted to be better at it and kept doing it. In quarantine, I taught myself archery.
Did you really?
I did. Yeah, I went down to archery country and bought a bow, and they're great guys over there. I know you know. But yeah, they hooked me up, and as soon as I got my bow, they had me out the door slinging arrows, and I was like, "This is cool. Let's keep that going."
Yeah.
So yeah, just doing cool stuff.
So you got exposed to it. It obviously hooked on. The world, it's not a hunting show yet, but like I say yet because there's always like, if it was up to me, I could talk at least half the time about that. When it comes to archery, I know for those maybe that have shot, maybe it's more common. Less people, I think, have gotten behind a bow. What is the big difference there? Because what I will say is that folks who get into bow hunting, it becomes like a new level of focus and precision and those things. Is that what you find out of it? It's different than shooting?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I like I like the little bit more of a challenge. I haven't done too much bow hunting. I just like to go out and sling arrows.
Yeah.
I sat in a tree for a week. And that was interesting. Didn't shoot anything, but I learned a lot about myself.
Yeah. You mean like up in a tree blind and waiting on something to come through?
Oh, yeah, for a week on public land in Texas. But yeah, I think it's just being out there, being present. You have to be present, like listening and feeling and yeah. So.
Yeah, you can't like be distracted. And then same thing for jumping out of planes, same feeling that you get, same focus.
Oh yeah, it's the same focus. Absolutely, yes.
Did Fran introduce you that too? So how did you get into that?
I think it's just one of those things where you do it you do it once, like for fun. A group of friends want to do it together, or maybe just that one friend, and then I realize I like it, and that's slowing down and being scared, going all the way up, and then being peace, just like soaring through the sky.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's kind of a metaphor for life, right?
Yeah.
Like that. The going the up, the anticipation is the worst part about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then literally the thing that actually will kill you potentially if you do it wrong is the period that's the most peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that? What?
It's almost like because you have like you almost have to let go. Like there's nothing that can happen. Like you can't. You got a parachute on your back, and that'll work.
Yeah.
Or should.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But outside of that, especially I find a lot of owners are we're all control freaks, and so in a way that almost like robs us of any ability to control the air, around us. But it is peaceful.
Yeah.
It is peaceful coming through that. So take me to like where the world is for you today. So you got your locations, the business is running, your head's back in the game on all this stuff.
Let's go.
And it sounds like now you got folks that are interested in this business that you've created. To the extent that you want, like, talk about what that world looks like right now and what's going through Kaylee's mind on all that.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I was in the middle of burning it down, that's when I opened up the conversation to selling the business.
Okay.
And I didn't want it anymore. I bought that van. I was about to go off grid and never come back again. And that's my dream. No, but now it's like, this particular situation, by the way, is not just to sell the business. They want to partner with me, and so that's what we're in negotiation. Well,
Yeah.
that's what we're in negotiations with. Is just, and so it's either I have two options. Either I could, in this particular deal, I could continue to have the business just like it is and grow on this same trajectory as I was.
Yeah.
Or I could partner and me 51% to me, and we can go to 150 locations and then eventually sell. So that's what I'm having to think through right now. That to me is kind of fun. That idea is kind of fun because you're right. I'm not going to sell and not do anything. I would drive myself crazy or people around me crazy. I think that would be a good next challenge. Like that's something fun, something new, something that I'm going to learn. I could learn from these people, and that's interesting to me.
Yeah. What are the things that maybe keep you up at, like, maybe it is the counterbalance to that? There's a lot of excitement about growing, learning something new, but it sounds like there might be, I would imagine there's a counterbalance to that.
Giving up 49% of my company.
So 100% your baby now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What are the things that go through your mind about that? The control thing, maybe?
I would like to think not. I can't even say that with a straight face, can I? But no. When in the training process, I'm still a little hands-on. I still want to create this beautiful team that leads with heart, and I could talk all this, but at the end of the day, I started the business to help people.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to lose that.
Actually, Kaylee, we should have started there. I mean, I imagine someone doesn't grind as much as you do and build this stuff, hardship, putting family, on hold, however you want to look at those things. If you weren't doing it for more than just the money, like what is the day to day that keeps you, whether it was 12 years ago or even today, is there something that about the helping people that stayed constant?
Oh yeah. I feel it every day. I want to make sure my team is healthy. I want to make sure that they're providing good quality service. Yeah, it's always in the forefront is making sure that we as a whole are just helping people and for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Not selling someone a service just to, capitalize on it, but to help them for a skincare concern that they have. And, for someone that doesn't, I do want to say this. Laser hair removal might not seem like it could be, help me with the words, significant.
Yeah, like this is going to change
right
like, the world or whatever is what
right.
Yeah.
But when you're having those clients come in here and say, thank you so much, I feel more confident now that I don't have this mustache.
Yeah.
Now that I don't have a unibrow. My kid's not getting picked on anymore. I don't have a razor burn whenever I'm in a bikini. I can take off that sarong or my shorts, and feel confident. So, or, we actually, we treat a lot of the trans community, feeling confident in their own skin, creating a safe space. So it really does. Like we are making a difference in that.
You're saying like the even the small,
right.
I mean, tell me if I'm picking it up right or not, but like you're saying, even those, what we would consider as like a small or maybe insignificant win is a big deal to that one human.
Yeah,
who can now
that's
go out
exactly right.
and get into their workplace and feel good or enjoy a vacation like the way they should, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And in that way, it's more than just laser removal. It's you're giving folks a new way to walk into the door.
That's right. Another thing that I would like for you to think about is, we also do tattoo removal. Imagine like being a kid and,
getting some kind of tribal you didn't mean to, or some
exactly.
Chinese characters that mean something different that you didn't mean to get.
I get that a lot, actually.
Yeah, that happens in the military all the time. The guy's like, look at my new Chinese characters. It says warrior, and then someone who's typically you usually have one Chinese guy or reads Chinese, and they're like, that's this idiot. Actually,
yeah, exactly,
exactly.
Like,
damn gun, man.
I know, that's exactly right. But even beyond that, it's. I treat actually a lot of people that were in prison who had to join a gang, who had gang-affiliated tattoos on their face that we can remove in order to get them back into society, and like those little things like that.
Well, that's a big deal.
It's huge. It's huge.
Just as a quick rabbit trail here, how long? I don't know. Say is it a one and done, or you got to come in for multiple treatments?
I wish it was a one and done. I really, really do. It's a painful process.
I was going to say, it does not sound fun.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
The technology has gotten better, but I mean, back in the day, I was lasering tattoos. It would take 30 treatments, 30 plus treatments.
Oh my gosh.
Now we've got it down to like 8 to 12, but
yeah, but still. It's like zapping the ink out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's breaking down the ink and you excrete it through your waste system.
Wow. It's so fast. When folks are done, can you tell there was there, or is there usually something left behind?
Yeah, you don't actually ever totally get rid of the ink. We're just breaking it up to particles where you can't see by the human eye. So there's some, we call them ghost tattoos. You can tell there was something there if you look really close.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we're getting pretty good clearance.
Wow. That's another thing you had. That's like a whole different set of equipment and stuff too than from other stuff that you were using.
Oh yeah.
Is it all? It seems extremely personal, the services. Like these are not just like how you treat clients, but I mean, it's doing stuff to their body that it's going to transform or retransform kind of what the skin looks like.
That's right.
How do you stay confident with making sure that delivers every single time?
So in the last year, it has not been like this, but I really, really, I try my hardest to always make sure that you have one laser professional that you stick with the entire time.
Okay.
And we just went through a restaffing. So that has been that's been very hard on me because I know what that looks like. I mean, we're lasering very intimate parts. We're lasering, people who are, introverts or that don't feel safe in, being treated by multiple people. So that's been a learning lesson too. So what I have been doing is creating this beautiful, walking into your office, it's so fun. You have a kitchen with food and everyone here seems so happy and fun. And that's the kind of environment that I want, creating more of like longevity. This isn't not creating workhorses. I want people who want to work here. I want them to say that Austin Laser Solutions is the best place. And here's why. And that's what, I'm rebuilding myself and my team and going from there.
Is there a world where Kaylee decides, you know what, I'm just going to keep doing this thing the way I've been doing it, like kind of one step or one location at a time?
Oh yeah, I've thought about that several times. I mean, life is good, man. It really is, and I'm really, really happy. I could hyper focus on being better at my hobbies and not pissing off my team by micromanaging. But yes, I mean yes, absolutely. I've thought about both, and I'm still deciding what I want to do even to today.
I'll give you if it's all right with you, I'll give you this. Like, I didn't know what to do with the bit of it, like this insight I got earlier in my career. Now it's starting to make way more sense. There was a gentleman that was kind of like he was a business mentor for me, and I was working for him at the time. And one day we were traveling, and I asked him, we were talking about owners and founders and CEOs. And I started to learn. I had just gotten out of the service, and I started to learn a little bit that, like, oh, not all these businesses, of course, they're not the same, but they all require different things. Big companies, small companies, medium companies, depending what industry. And so one day we were sitting there, I think it was at like a layover, and I asked him, I said, who are the happiest, like, CEOs and owners you know? And he goes, oh, I'll tell you. He goes, it's easy. He goes, it's the ones that do, he says, the ones that have, like, I don't know, a few million or more in revenue a year, maybe even 12 or 13, because that's fine. He goes, it's less about the money. He goes, it's actually just about, like, their operations. It's all something they can kind of hug very easy. It's stuff that they've grown kind of low and slow. And it's become something now that's like so ingrained in their DNA. He goes, they just have so much time for life now that they can kind of balance both. They're like making meaningful dents with their team, and they're also like they're changing their lives, and they're also, he goes, man, every time he's calling out a couple friends of his that do that. He goes, they always take the family vacation. They always go in there for the kids' game. They're always on that hunting trip. They never say no to anything because they can make that time work. And I was like, who has the hardest times? He goes, he goes, a lot of the times the bigger you grow, it's just a different set of things, and it requires more of your time. He goes, and then he actually mentioned the turnaround folks too. He goes, the turnaround folks is like a hybrid. Like, they come into these failing companies, they turn them around. It's exhausting because it's just like a bunch of just really hard stuff they have to do. And then they usually disappear for a year, and then they come back to life, and then they do it over again. I say all that to say that I don't know that any of them is right or wrong, but I remember that conversation, it being one that kind of stayed with me. And it's funny now that I'm sitting where I'm at now talking to owners who have kind of more of that. And it's weird because I think it's so human for us to kind of always look at, like, we're always looking at Everest Summit and being like, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But maybe the guy or the gal having the most fun is just the one that's kind of doing the local mountain every day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense, what I'm saying.
No, absolutely it does. Yeah, exactly. I think that's something that I'm going to sit with and help me decide what I want to do. Do I want that? I am single. I don't have children. I have the grit, and I have the grind, and I know I can. I can build this thing. I know it. But where does that put me in life? Like, enjoying those moments of slowing down.
Yeah.
Do I want to continue the sprint and grind for the next 5 to 10 years, or do I want to slow down and start a family? So.
Yeah. No, I think those are all like things that they're not like relevant until like something happens, and then it kind of like jolts the system or whatever it might be. And maybe even like what you were saying about hey, is my current location as, what is the word you use? It was great. It was like the great way you put it. It was like efficient, but like, am I optimizing this pace the best? Oftentimes I think about our lives as like, okay, we always think as operators, we think of like the business as like a big chunk of the pie. But then it's like, well, if I did all this stuff, then I could expand that chunk of the pie. But then we almost forget that, like, well, am I being a really great friend? I'm also being a really great, husband, wife, son, daughter, whatever those things are. And I think it is not necessarily in our DNA to think that it's like not being productive on vacation. It's kind of a weird thing to say out loud, but it is something that I wonder, does sometimes that growth get you into a spot where like you're to continue to sacrifice these other things?
I did set a boundary. On vacation, I'm not allowed to work. I just did.
Oh, you did do that?
I did do that.
Okay.
But I was like, before I can have fun, I got to go work out. I mean, there's always going to be something, It's like,
yeah.
I
think this is like, you got to know yourself, right? Like, I think,
man.
I mean, the other counterpoint is like, without folks like you, there wouldn't be businesses to work for, So it's like it requires this kind of intensity to kind of build a thing. I don't know that I got the right answer either. I just have made observations over time as I've watched folks that seem to be happy and content, like they're content with what they're doing. There's like this balance. They like still work hard, and people all around them would say that person's driven, hard worker.
That's what I'm working on. That feeling of it's okay to feel content. I'm not able to sit with that. I can't be content. You got to do more. Got to
go get something.
Even sitting here with my legs crossed, and I'm like, I want to talk this, and I'm like, I have so much energy. But because I have so much passion and drive, and it fuels me. It makes me feel good.
Yeah. What is we're coming up, man. That hour went by fast, Kaylee. So that. Maybe two last thoughts for me. One is kind of like tying a bow in the thing that we just talked about. As you're kind of discerning and making that decision, maybe for folks that are listening out there who are thinking, that's my goal one day, to get something, build something, and then maybe sell it or something like that, or at least part of it. If they were trying to buy all of it, would you be less interested?
I don't think so.
Okay. Still on the table.
Still on the table.
Yeah.
I think that if they were trying to buy all of it, well, it's a little. So these group of guys, I've kind of vetted them on who they are as a person.
Yeah.
You would love them. I mean, they're one of us.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
Okay,
oh,
nice.
yeah. Exactly. They're good old boys. They live out in Lakeway. I mean, love them. Good heart. I vetted them. I mean, I called several of their businesses they've acquired, and just they all spoke so highly of these groups of this.
Okay, so the references checked out.
Holy, yeah. So I know that whatever I do, the integrity of the business will stay intact.
Yeah.
I have that true gut feeling. So.
Okay. So that's a good helpful tip. So reference check is, hey, just don't look at the dollar sign.
Right.
Go look at, who are these people?
Yeah. I was going to say, who cares about the dollar sign? Yes, it does matter. I mean, it does matter, I guess. But I care about, a little bit more than that.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. I think there's a lot of, while we're on that, like, how do you know? I guess it's what folks say about the folks. I bet you it's also just picking up on folks' character, right?
That's exactly.
Like, you can tell someone's trying to smooth talk you, and they're saying the right things, but they ain't real.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a woman that has worked 50% of her life in the service industry. I can read bullshit. So yeah, exactly.
So you learn.
I learned real quick. Same thing with creating a team. you just you know who leads with heart, and that's these guys right here. So I honestly can't go wrong. That's the best
You can see
part.
you winning either way.
That's the best part about where I'm at in life right now. I can't go wrong.
Yeah. I think it's
And
a
that
lot
feels
of,
good.
I don't know, just sitting here, I'll tell you, like, the observation I made is that, like, it's how you did it. Like, I think if your business just, I think if you had not taken the time to master, to build, to find the right people, all the things that are not fancy but really involved, I think had you not done that, I'm looking at a business that maybe folks are not that interested in, or maybe not as interested in. But it's because, like, Kaylee did all this, like, it's the hard stuff. It's like hard discipline, all those things that you've had to do. Well, now it's an attractive business, but it isn't like, oh, because of the industry you picked or whatever. It's because, like, the sum of all those parts and how you put it together, like, matters.
Right.
What would, I guess, the kind of the note I'd like to end on is, like, folks that are out there right now thinking of, I don't know, maybe they're sitting in their cubicle somewhere in a high rise and they're trying to figure out, like, do I want to get into this life or not? And if I do, like, what's the right way to go about doing it? Like, any thoughts you'd give those folks, either words of encouragement or otherwise?
Yes, I think that get out of your comfort zone. If you're an introvert and you don't want to meet you don't want to meet a stranger.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
Hey.
If that's the worst, yeah, exactly. If that's the worst thing that you can think of, then this is probably not it for you. But yeah, get out of your comfort zone, go network, go meet people, ask questions, be curious. I'm very curious. I want to interview you.
We've got another hour. We'll just tell Chauncey to get rolling.
Keep it going. Yeah. So I think that how I'm growing and scaling and is because every person that sat on that treatment bed, I asked questions to. I got to know them. And so, just networking, getting out of your comfort zone, taking that risk, but making sure that you're not going to put yourself in a bad position.
Don't bet the farm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like, don't bet the farm.
Yeah, don't bet the farm. So yeah, that's the advice that I would give is just meet people, be curious, and take the calculated risk.
Yeah. Kaylee, I love it. I think, I'll say this. I think you're a shining example of somebody who's, because you strike me as kind of almost like a reluctant owner. Like, you've built this thing that is, like, badass. It's humming. It's obviously folks are interested. Like, you don't get a knock on your door to go buy your business because you built something that's garbage. Like, it means something. At the same time, you strike me as just somebody who's like, we hear big conversation in this world all the time about strategy and comps and financials and all this stuff. And you strike me as like, I built this thing at one block at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like, what's the next thing to do this thing? What's the next thing to do that thing?
Yeah.
How do I do it without betting the farm, but take enough risk to test?
That's right.
Yeah.
And, someone, of course they're going to ask me, this is not the first firm that has wanted to make a deal, but who are your competitors? To this day, I still don't know who my competitors are. I'm my own competitor. Like, my head down, I'm grinding. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing,
Yeah.
So I'm still, getting into like the business side of it and learning. And I love collecting data. This is an Oura ring. It's collecting
I see.
I'm getting out. I like collecting data. No, I'm really getting into like biohacking right now, and so that's what I got hyper focused on something. Now it's like my own how to optimize my body and my brain so I can grow the business. But yeah, so just hacking the business. It's fun whenever you have another entrepreneur come into your treatment room and they'll have this conversation because they'll know how long they were waiting or how long we were treating them. And I always have someone, in the lobby and how much they paid me. And so there's always like,
they can start,
their
wheels
start turning and wanting to do something with me. And I loved being a one-woman show for a really long time. And now it's like, do I want to escalate that or do I want to just keep moving?
Yeah, and keep doing your thing. Yeah. Well, I think you said it right. Like, you can't lose either. And these are all are they all like PE shops, or are they a mix of different people hitting you
Just
up?
a mix of different people.
Yeah, family offices and stuff.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Way to go. I mean, congrats, Kayla, either way. I mean, and I think, I think you're right. I don't think you can go wrong. And I think whatever you do, it sounds like trusting your gut.
That's right.
Has been the key to success. So there's no doubt Mama and the rest of your family will be proud of what you've done. So thanks for coming on today.
Yeah,
it's been an honor to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so fun.
Well, we're looking forward to, you got to keep me posted with what you end up doing.
Absolutely. Yep. Talk to you.
Well, I'll know if they do a big press release and they're like, we're opening up 80 new locations. I'll be like, okay, I know what's going on.
Let's go.
I know what you decided.
And then if you don't hear from me, I'm in the middle of nowhere in my van.
That I can get behind.
Yeah.
Kaylee, thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in to the American Operator Podcast, where we celebrate the backbone of America, small business owners and operators like you. If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss out on more of these stories and insights from people who keep our community strong. Until next time, keep building, keep operating, and keep America moving forward.